Jurgen, I wanted to ask also about Jordan Henderson. He signed a new contract earlier this season, and often we know in football when someone signs a new contract, all eyes are on them. Are they going soft? Are they going to be helped by the new contract? And Jordan obviously missed out on playing for England in the starting team in the summer. But since he signed the new contract, he seems to have done very well. I was just wondering if you think it's given him a kind of a security or something in signing the contract has helped him.
Hendo is essential to all the things we achieved in the last few years. So why should we now? He had no point to prove. If anybody thinks he didn't play a good last season or whatever, he was injured in the last part of the season, which is very unlucky. Before that, he helped us on 3 different positions pretty much, which was very tough. We had just a tough year, all of us, and in the decisive period of the last season, he couldn't be involved because of injury. Then he went to the Euros and was not involved as much because the injuries before. That's how it is. But he has not a point to prove, and I never want to give him that feeling because I know his natural motivation is already at the limit. So you don't have to, I don't know, to put oil in the fire. There is enough fire there already, and that's Hendo. The new contract is just what he deserves and what the club needed. It's we need players like him, and especially him in the club in the long term, because these boys, the quality of them, the mindset of them, the attitude of them, they set standards for all the rest. That's why it's so important that we have these players in the squad and on the pitch, obviously. And so Hendo is not old or whatever. Again, he can still develop, and he has to, and he will, and I will not stop helping him with that. And that's the situation. So, yeah, no, I was not concerned that the new contract could stop him being a crazy devil from time to time on and off the pitch. His mindset is made for winning things, and really happy to have him here.
Thanks, Joe. Simon Mullock, and then to Richard Jolly.
Hi, Jurgen. Last year, when things were so tough, I know injuries played a huge part in what happened last season. But just before you went on that incredible run to qualify for the Champions League, you were adamant all the time that this team had not come to the end of its cycle. What did you see inside the squad that made you know that this team would come good again? Because, I mean, the standards you're hitting again on this unbeaten run are quite remarkable.
Yeah, look, but if you compare things, then it's difficult to overcome them. I'll say, okay, here was that good, it was that good, and stuff like this, because the time flies, and many things happen. Yes, player in, player out, that's clear. But as a team, you don't have to compare really, you have to develop. So it's not, and that means then that maybe something is different, and that means in the first moment not as good as it used to be, but then you have other things. So we worked a lot. Again, so last year we had, obviously, it was all good, we started well, blah, blah, then the injury crisis hit us, so we had to solve problems we didn't know we will have. We cannot be prepared for that, or I think we can't. And so we sorted it somehow, qualified for the Champions League, absolutely insane, absolutely great. And then, of course, we had a proper preseason, we had an absolute proper preseason, and preseason, not only the preseason, last year already, we worked a lot on our offensive stuff. So how can we cause problems? How can we cause problems against other teams? And on top of that, but it's part of offensive play, we need a sensational counter press, because the more you have the ball, the more often you can lose it. If you lose it, you have to win it back. So the defending part it will never stop. All these kind of things. So are we better than 2 years ago or not? Or are we worse? We neither nor. We are like we are in this situation, and that's why if we make a mistake, we don't make the mistake because we made it 2 years ago or 1 year ago. No, we did it because in that moment we made the wrong decision, and all this kind. That's what our daily things we are working on, and so means as long as these boys are not 40, we will improve them. The way we work together, the things we do, how they inspire themselves, each other, all these kind of things. That's a really special group, and will be considered in the future, looking back, as a really special group. I know it already, but I don't praise them or celebrate with them or whatever. No, I'm here to kick their butts from time to time as well, and that's what we do to make the next step.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Richard Jolly, and then finishing with Russell. Richard. Well, we don't have Richard Jolly. Richard, here we are.
Yeah, hi Jurgen.
Hi,
Sorry,
Richard.
I'm unmuted now, hopefully. Just going back to Jordan, you're obviously on this great unbeaten run at the moment, but over several years you've suffered very, very few defeats when Jordan's been playing in the midfield for you, fewer than when he's been missing. Is that a sign of his influence on the team as a whole, and can you kind of explain how he has that wider impact on the side?
I read another statistic that we never lost when Fabinho and Thiago played together. So how can I solve that now? So that means that's our midfield and the others cannot play or what? So yeah, he is so incredibly valuable. I read another statistic. I think Hendo already after the last game, maybe after Brighton, maybe before Brighton, he surpassed Gareth Barry as the player with the most passes in the Premier League. Is that right? I read something like that. So that means, and he has still obviously 4 or 5 years to go. So success. Really? I asked Hendo, or shit pass involved. So, but completed passes, so absolutely incredible number, and he will have a few more. So that all says about Hendo. So it's, he's an absolutely great and very important figure in this team. And unfortunately, when you win nearly all games with the specific lineup, then you still lost some. And that's the problem. So there's so much more we have to achieve, so much more we have to go for, so much more we can improve. And that's what I'm concerned about, not what we did so far and how many passes we played so far, but the good passes we play Sunday, the good passes we play in the next 2, 3, 4 years. That's what I'm interested in, and not for the other things.
Thanks, Rich. Finishing with Russell then, because we've gone on a bit. Russ, finish it off.
Hi, can I ask you about Diogo Jota? You're going to lose Mo and Sadio for the African Cup of Nations in the next few weeks, and obviously Bobby's going to be out for quite some time. Diogo seems to be back to his best. Do you think he's back to his best, and how important is he going to be for you over the sort of winter campaign?
Not only then, he's always very important. Diogo was unfortunately out for a few games as well, but he's incredibly good players, with incredibly skilled and talented players. I'm so happy we had the idea to sign him years ago because of a proper package. Can play the wing, can play the center. Wherever he plays, he's always a goal threat. He always will arrive in the box. He always will be in the right spaces. He has a good nose. He's a good combiner. He's a good connector. So many good things about him. And on really, what makes it really nice to work together with him is an outstanding guy. Not a bit crazy or whatever. It's really down to earth, very grounded. I think the closest person in the dressing room, they're all close, but the closest to him is, I think, Millie. So that says a lot, and you don't get in that group easily, and that's Diogo, and he's a really top player. I'm so happy that I still know when I thought that would be a player for us, and I was really happy that it worked out.